Today I just want to take a little bit of time to give you my thoughts on the school shooting in Nashville. It's really sad that it's like not if another one's going to happen, it's when is another one going to happen. Make sure to keep the families of the victims in the Nashville shooting in your prayers. On Monday, a psychopathic freak shot up a Christian school in Nashville, killing 3 children, I think under the age of 10, and 3 adults. My biggest takeaway from this is that the nut job targeted another place, but decided against it because the place had too high of security. We've seen it time and time again. A good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. Let me give you some examples. The Texas church shooting, I think about 3 years ago. A guy walked in, the guy was in the church, he opened fire, and he was taken down in seconds of starting the shooting, shot by multiple parishioners in the church. Another example would be the Indiana mall shooting, which happened about 8 months ago. This guy started opening fire, and one of the shoppers was carrying, and he shot the guy down. And the guy immediately was gone. The threat was neutralized. My question, why don't we protect our kids like we protect our politicians? These are the most defenseless. You're the most defenseless at this age. But yet they have like practically no security. And I understand that this was a Christian school, so it did not have resource officers. But there's a lot of public schools out there that don't have resource officers. All schools, Christian or not, they should have resource officers, metal detectors, and bulletproof glass. You're a sitting duck when someone comes in with a gun and you don't have anything to defend yourself with. If there would have been a resource officer there, this guy would have been taken down in seconds of entering the building, or this girl, I don't really know. But they would have been taken down within seconds of entering the building. Gun-free zones are where you are the most vulnerable, and it just, things have to change. This may be controversial, but I think teachers should be trained and vetted, and they should be allowed to carry guns, because that is the best way for them to protect their students. Someone goes to enter the classroom and they can blow them away as soon as they open the door. The police took the shooter down within 3 minutes of entering the building. Thank you to the Nashville police for being so well trained and heroes. Only 3 minutes. When they entered the building, it took like 3 minutes for them to shoot this person down. 3 minutes. Imagine if there would have been a resource officer there. This shooting would have been stopped instantly because the person had to shoot through the glass to get in the building. So they would have immediately been taken out. If we ban semi-automatics, it will do absolutely nothing. There are already 400 million guns in this country. There are more guns than people. You're not going to be able to confiscate all the guns, and all that's going to do is hurt law-abiding citizens. Criminals already don't follow gun laws anyway. It's already illegal to murder people, and guess what? They would find another way to do it. They'll start using other means, and they're going to go to any length to commit a murder. It's not the fact that they're just using a gun and they want to use a gun. No, it's the fact they're freaks and they want to hurt people, and they will find a way to do it. Banning and confiscating semi-automatics will only hurt law-abiding citizens. Around here in Western Pennsylvania, everyone around here owns like 10 or 20 guns, and they never get used for anything other than going to the shooting range or just having fun with it. They don't go up and shoot up people with it. You don't hear about that stuff around here. I mean, it sometimes happens in rural areas, but it doesn't usually happen. Here in the rural areas, it is more of a faith-based area, as well as there being more space. When there's more space, people tend to not be as angry. And that's what I saw when I visited DC. People are just more angry in cities. Because, I mean, wouldn't be as happy because of all the, you're kind of congested. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you should be a psychopath. But no, it's just going to hurt law-abiding citizens, which were never going to use their guns to harm anyone. And people want to say all this crap about, oh, well, you can't shoot a deer with a semi-automatic. They're not wearing Kevlar vests. You understand, though, that the Second Amendment has nothing to do with hunting. The Second Amendment is to defend yourself. And yes, we want the best means to defend ourselves with. And my point I'm trying to make is a good guy with a gun stops a bad guy with a gun. The police used guns to stop the person. They put down the threat almost instantly. When you have more law-abiding citizens, yes, and I encourage people to be trained, because you don't want someone that knows nothing about guns just flaunting a gun around, shaking it at people. No. But when you have people that are skilled, people that know what they're doing, you are a lot safer. I feel much safer when someone is carrying a gun, like in church, for example. I feel safer when someone has a gun there than being a sitting duck if someone comes in there and you have nothing to defend yourself with. Here's a fact for you. Most gun violence happens in the inner cities with pistols, and a lot of these guns are already illegal. And guess what? They still have them. The criminals will have them even if you ban them. A criminal is not going to obey a law giving their guns up. You're going to be, and a lot of law-abiding citizens aren't going to give their guns up either, and you're just going to cause an even bigger problem. We have over 100,000 people being killed by fentanyl. Even young kids. And you don't hear outrage about that. But when there's a tragedy like this, you hear outrage. Rightfully so. You should be outraged about this. It's disgusting. But there's not outrage when you have 100,000 people dying of fentanyl coming over the border. It's a whole big cluster of crap. We will never root out evil. Evil will always remain, but we have to minimize the damages. It's time we end these senseless killings by investing in our schools. Resource officers, metal detectors, and bulletproof glass in every single school. You didn't see senseless killings happen like this in the 60s, especially in schools. I know there may have been like 1 or 2 shootings altogether back then in schools. But the thing is, the culture was different. There were more faith-oriented people. And that's not just it, but that's a big part of it. You didn't see these things. People would bring their guns to school. They would have them in the back of their pickup trucks. And they would get in fights, and then they would go hunting afterwards. They wouldn't just go shoot a bunch of people. The culture has changed. It is getting worse. In my generation, they're messed up. Like, really messed up. We need to have investments in mental health. That's a big part of this. These people, if you're not, no mentally stable person goes and kills people. These people are mentally ill, and something has to be done about it. We need to stop letting repeat offenders out of jail. I know this person wasn't a repeat offender, but in the cities, you have all these people that go up and stab people, and then they're released. We need to stop being soft on crime. You should have 2 strikes or 3 strikes, you're out. You go to jail and you stay in jail when you're a violent offender. I know this is a controversial topic, but I don't think it's very controversial to say that we should have resource officers in every school. Okay, we've had our talk now, and I'm about to get out of here, but I just want to remind you to keep them in your prayers. Things are getting worse out there. Things are getting worse. Thank you guys for watching. You may not agree with my points, but keep it nice in the comments below. If I get any comments on this video, just don't be rude to others. All right, guys. As always, don't forget to drop a like on this video. Hit that notification bell and subscribe for more content. And as always, keep it electrified. I'll see y'all later.